What's up, squad? Welcome to the Strength Squad podcast. I'm your host, Steve Cardy.
And I'm Nicholas Bob Scopoletti, your other co-host.
Nicholas, Mr. Scope Scopoletti. Welcome to the show, yo. We had an awesome one today. Today we're switching it up a little bit, and we're going listener-submitted questions. So you guys submitted some questions to us, and we're gonna get to answering them.
Hell yeah.
Before we do that, though, start this thing off, as usual, with a dad joke. Nick.
What? Fuck do you want?
Why did the Scarecrow get a promotion?
Why?
Because he was outstanding in his field. Announcements before we start.
Rough.
Make sure you guys go to our YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, share, or block us. Who cares? Go to our Stitcher, iTunes. Give us a listen. Give us a ring. Write some stuff. Subscribe. We'd love that. Also, go to our social media. Is Twitter still a thing? Don't know. Is ours still working?
Ask President Trump.
No idea. Do we even have a Twitter still? Not sure. Are we going to check? Probably not.
Do I know who my
Just
real
worried
dad
about
is?
Facebook. Just worried about Instagram. Make sure you guys go to our Facebook, like our Facebook page, then go to our Instagram. Follow us on Instagram, then follow us to our Jeep and Camry.
It's so specific now.
Actually, I think that's it. No, Plant Warrior. Sorry. Plant Warrior protein, guys. Sick of whey protein? Stop drinking it. Drink plant protein then, because it'll stop fucking with your stomach.
Right.
Whey protein's awesome. If you can drink it, have it. Drink all of it that you can possibly have.
Every day.
If it fucks with your stomach, though, maybe think about switching it up. Give Plant Warrior protein a try. PlantWarrior.co. If you use our promo code STRENGTH10, get 10% off. What a great day you'll have. Before we start this thing, let's slide into those DMs Boogie Nights style.
Oh,
Said some
shit.
news. Yeah, watched that yesterday.
Did you? Good.
I did.
Movie. Good. Dirt
All right, Nick,
Diggler.
send news. What do we got for this week?
We got cardio, the best cardio for hardcore lifters. Cool thing about this article, about 11 experts that weigh in, so it's kind of like a round table, and all the coaches go through basically what they like best, what they do with their clients. For example, Ben Bruno, pretty popular now, used to be one of Boyle's guys, big T Nation guy. He, trains Justin Timberlake, Kate Upton. He talks about how he likes complexes. Another coach talks about how they like the Airdyne bike, and you could do it for steady state or high intensity, or there's sleds and the stair mill, and basically all these options, because as we know, cardio can get fucking boring. So might as well make it cool. So this is a really cool article. Just giving you some different ideas for cardio stuff you either want to do, or like if you're like don't like traditional stuff, some outside of the box type stuff. So check this article out.
Dope. Yeah, and we'll link that in the show notes, everybody, just like every week, and we'll also post that to our Facebook. All right, anything else? We ready to go?
Ready to rip.
Let's take a quick break here, guys. When we get back, we're going to get into your questions, all right? So our listeners this week submitted questions, and we're going to rip through those right off the top of the old dome. Also, yeah, we're really roughing it this week because I left my laptop at my cousin's house in New York City, so that's why I'm on my phone right now, and it's just going to be a weird week, so you guys just got to bear with us.
Because he was fucking hammered.
Yeah, it was weird. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to get into some listener questions.
Want more of the Strength Squad? You can check out all of our social media on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Also, check us out on YouTube, where you can watch all of your favorite Strength Squad videos. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review on iTunes and Stitcher.
Stitcher, I just met her. We would like to thank our friends at Plant Warrior Protein, official sponsor of the Strength Squad podcast. Plant Warrior plant-based protein is easier on your stomach and contains a complete amino acid profile that helps you grow, maintain, and repair your muscles. It gives you 18 grams of protein per serving, and it's made from a blend of rice, pea, and hemp. Plant Warrior pledges to plant one tree for every item you purchase at their online store. Head over to plantwarrior.co, that's plantwarrior.co, and use the promo code STRENGTH10 to get 10% off of your purchase. That's promo code STRENGTH10 for 10% off of any Plant Warrior purchase.
All right, crew, welcome back. Let's dive into some questions here. Let's see what you, the listeners, have for us this week. And we're going to answer those questions the best we can. Or if we don't know the answer, we'll probably just sit here and stare at each other.
Nude.
First question comes to us from Ben N. That's a fun one to say. The question is, how do you pick your goals as a beginner? Then once you've picked your goals, how do you prioritize your training? It's a great question, Ben. I would say starting with your goals, right? So when starting with picking your goals, I think you want to figure out, why you're training, okay? Not like what you want to do, but why you're training. And that could be as simple as, I want to do a bodybuilding show. So then that would be one of your goals. Or I want to, let's pick a more generic one, right? Like a lot of people say, I just want to get fitter, right? That's like a common, hey, why are you starting to train? So you say your goal is, I want to get fitter. Well, then you start asking yourself why. Why do you want to get fitter? Until you get to kind of that underlying why question, right? So establish that why first. It sounds so like cliche, and everyone's like, "What's your why?" But it's true, man. If you're just like, I'm just going to pick a training program, that's probably not going to be as effective as if you were to establish what you're really trying to accomplish with your training. Whether it's, I want to get fitter because, I don't want to be an old, broken down man when I'm older, or I want to do a bodybuilding show because I want to look amazing in a fucking
and feel
man
like
thong,
shit.
whatever. Then part two of the question, how do you prioritize your training? I think the best thing to do is establish training principles rather than establishing what type of lifts and exercises you're going to do. And so what I mean by that is pretty much establish what you want to accomplish every week, right? So rather than, all right, I'm going to start training, and all right, squats look good, so I'm going to throw those in there. And I should do deadlifts too. And I guess I should do bicep curls and triceps, and maybe I'll do some lunges, right? And you're kind of just throwing this mishmash of programming together because it feels right or whatever. Establish principles first, right? So, for example, look at a week. All right, what do I want to get done with in a week? I want to overhead push. I want to pull horizontally. I want to push horizontally, and I want to pull vertically. I also want to hinge. I also want to squat. And I also want to do some sort of movement in some different planes. I want to get some rotational core work in. I want to get some lateral core work in. These are just principles, right? Once you start establishing these principles, like, hey, these are the things I want to accomplish every week, then it's going to be easier for you to fill in the blanks in your programming. Nick, do you have anything to add?
I think when you're a beginner, man, like you said, just first of all, your gains are going to be awesome because you're just starting. So anything you do is going to work.
Yeah.
There's so that's always fun, right? But I mean, no, you pretty much nailed it, dude. Just hit those basic planes of movement. Make yourself well-rounded so that, maybe later on, whatever you start doing, maybe later on you decide to get more specialized, then you'll have a bigger base. As Louis says, it's only as big as your base. But,
yeah.
I think you nailed it, man. That was perfect.
Or even, so if you want to take that and look at it from a bodybuilding perspective, right? So establishing principles in a bodybuilding program versus just establishing a bodybuilding program. So if you were to start a bodybuilding program and you're kind of just making shit up, all right, Monday I'll do arms, Tuesday I'll do legs, Wednesday I'll do shoulder. If you just start compartmentalizing the week like that versus, all right, what do I want to do each week? All right, each week I want to hit arms twice. Each week I want to hit legs once. I want to squat or deadlift at least once. I want to squat or deadlift once heavy. I want to squat or deadlift once for volume, right? So you're establishing these principles. These aren't like exercises you're throwing down on the paper, but these are principles. Once you have these principles established, then you start filling shit in, right? Makes it that simple. It's almost like establishing an outline for an essay before you start writing the actual essay. All right. Thank you, Ben N. Nick, next question. What do you got?
All right, so our question is from Molly G. Molly G. That sounds pretty dope.
The Molly G Show.
The Molly G Show. So, what are your thoughts on protein powder? I know a great Plant Warrior protein you should probably purchase.
Oh, shit.
But, so what are my thoughts on protein powder? Let's see. I think I take some myself. I think eating enough protein is always key to what we're doing. But at the same time, there's only so much like steak and chicken and stuff you could eat without wanting to shoot yourself, right? It's just like it's a lot. As we know, protein is the most more satiating of the three macronutrients, and there's plenty of data to back that up, or where people that have added a protein shake throughout their day had less cravings. I know Jade Tita has plenty of research on this. He said where, people that he's find the most successful with diet and lifestyle change use a protein powder, whatever it may be, plant-based, whatever, but some sort of shake to help satiate hunger. So I think it's just, when it comes to protein powder, I think it's just about finding what works for you, what do you like, and something to break up the monotony of eating the same maybe the same foods all day, every day. Obviously, you can make shakes pretty awesome. Throw some bananas in there, fruit, peanut butter, whatever you're into, whatever your goals are. But yeah, definitely couldn't hurt. But on the other side of that, like, do you really need it? Probably not. I mean, if you're good with just food, then cool. But if it's something you want, something different, and it's definitely you don't want to just keep hammering food all day and want something a little bit quicker, absorb some liquid. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, and I agree. I would just add to that and say, like, adding to what you said before, like, start with food first. Make sure you're having like a protein source with every meal from food, and then from there, then just fill in the gaps with protein shakes whenever you can. Right. I think there's a lot of like research and science and Instagram videos and like all that shit on like when's the best time to drink protein. It's like, I don't know, what's the best time for you? When can you get the protein shake in? When, of course there's optimal times, but when can you get it in? Right. Is it like between shifts? Are you a teacher? Is it like a certain 5-minute period through the day where you can get it in? Just figure out what works for you.
Right.
Get it in when you can. Right. All right. Next question. Next question comes to us from Isabella A. Okay.
Hey.
What's better? What's better for improving muscular endurance? High volume with lower weight, so higher reps with lower weight, or lower volume with higher weight? Also, part 2, when is it appropriate to go to fatigue when you're trying to build muscle or strength? Okay, interesting.
Repeat that again? I got lost a little bit.
So let's go first part of the question first. What's better for improving muscular endurance? High volume and low weight, or low volume versus high weight? All right, so I kind of have 2 answers to this question. I think the first part of this question is like the obvious answer for muscular endurance is probably higher volume with the lower weights, right? However, your ability to distend that or extend that ability, or your threshold to do that, is going to come with lifting heavier weights, right? So you lift heavier weights, you get your max reps up, get your 1RMs up, all that, then your higher volume, lower weight sets, you're essentially going to be able to do more reps with said weights, right? Does that make sense? Did I say that? Did that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, like,
sounded weird coming out of my mouth. I don't know if that made sense.
Like, the stronger you are, like, the example I'll use is like, so like Dave Hoff at Westside, right? Guy benches 1,000 in a shirt. We saw him move half of that, like 5 plates, like it was a toy.
Fucking nothing.
So like the stronger you are, yes, then you can do your muscular endurance you got to train all the rep ranges. You can't just, if you stick with one, you're just gonna get A, you're gonna get bored, and B, you're gonna adjust, you're gonna adapt to that rep range. One thing I want to add to muscular endurance, and this is coming out more and more, is a lot of tempo lifting. So not so much like so many reps of doing like a bunch of reps of like 15, 20 to get muscular endurance, but spending more time of like 2 to 3 seconds up and down, constant tension, 8 reps, something like that, has been shown to increase like local muscular endurance. So for runners, they do split squats or goblets, whatever it may be, just have more muscular endurance at specific areas, whether it's a row, a press, whatever. So that's one thing I wanted to add to that too.
Yeah, for sure. I look at it like this, as simply as this, like as simple as you could possibly look at it. Say person A, their max 1RM clean is 225, right? They'll probably be able to do like 95 pounds for 20 reps for a couple sets. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's probably realistic for them. Now, take person B, their max 1RM is 305. They're probably going to be able to move like 135 pretty successfully for 20 reps, right? Yeah. So there is like the endurance part, but the strength part definitely comes into play, right? Yeah. It's as simple as that. If your body is like, hey, I'm used to lifting 300 pounds, so, 135 for reps is going to be no issue, versus if your body's like, all right, my max is 225. It's probably going to have to be something like 95 pounds on the bar, right? Just look at it as simple. I honestly think it's as simple as that. Yes, there's other factors. You got to work on other components of muscular endurance too, like we talked about. But I think also making sure that you're working on those 1RMs too, right? Those lower volume sets and things like that. Right. But I guess short answer, if we're picking one of the two, what's best for improving muscular endurance? I would say low volume, high weight. Like I was just saying, the fucking stronger you are, like you mentioned Dave Hoff, the stronger you are, the dude can bench 1,000 pounds and he can move 500 pounds. Like it's fucking nothing. Yeah. 4 reps. Right.
But also they train in all the rep ranges, right? Like the whole thing of conjugate is like, we're never in like only speed phase. Like we talked about with Jacob Ross. This is only dynamic effort for the next few months. This is only max effort. They're hitting max effort, dynamic effort, and repetition method for sometimes hundreds of reps on like tricep extensions or hamstring curls. So they're hitting all the rep ranges. I think you got to hit it all. There is no...
For sure.
There's no one way.
Exactly. No, I agree. And I think, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like there is only one way. I think just according to the question though, like what's better for improving muscular endurance, there's definitely, you got to hit all those avenues, but like if your 1RMs are high, then your 15 to 20 RMs are going to be high. It's just that simple.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Next question. Go ahead.
All righty.
Thank you, Isabella.
So this is from Paul F. What are the best things to eat before you work out and after? I don't know. What do you... That's one of the things where it's like, what do you like to eat?
Like types of foods or just macronutrients?
I think just what are the best, like, I guess best pre-workout foods, I guess is what kind of they're asking. It's pretty vague, but... Okay. Yeah. Like, what are the best things to eat before and after you work out? Now, usually... depending on your goals and all that stuff, like we usually say, you're surrounding your training with like a carbohydrate and protein meal, pretty low fat to help fuel yourself. That's the gist of it. But some people do well. I know me personally, if I have like a bunch of rice and then try to go to the gym, I'm going to fall asleep. True. You know what I mean? I just don't feel great. I work out sometimes first thing in the morning fasted. I feel really good then too. I think it's personal preference. Digestion as well. Something's not going to fucking weigh you down. You're not going to have, 3 bananas and a protein shake and like, all right, I'm going to go work out. And also timing. I think a minimum of like hour and a half before you start working out. Hour and a half, 2 hours. If you do it with even the hour or 30 minutes before you put something, there's no way it's digested that quickly.
Oh yeah, no chance.
So,
no chance.
And I've done that too. Where you eat and you go and like you just feel like shit the whole time because your body's trying to digest, but you're also trying to lift. It's just like a weird,
weird thing.
It's a weird combo. So I guess the best things. I know it's such a general. I'm not giving like a definite answer here, but like it depends. What do you do best on? What can you eat before? If it's not too heavy, not too fatty, whatever it is for you. I think it depends, but always protein, carbohydrates, pretty low fat just for absorption. That's a pretty solid. Like if I could literally have a chicken breast and a sweet potato and be like, all right, I'm good. Like I don't need a ton. After I work out, I will definitely eat more personally. But I think it's personal preference, man. How do you feel about that, Steven?
I've always had a lot of success with fruit, like quick digesting shit. Not a fucking bowl of fruit. That was a mistake I made. But like a little fruit, so I'll give you mine. Every day is the same. Every day is 2 bananas and an RX bar 45 minutes to an hour before I train. And I'm good to go. I'm not too full. Like I don't feel like I'm heavy or I haven't digested yet. But I also feel like, okay, I can make it through like 2 hours of training on that, which is pretty dope. But yeah, the only thing I would add is not add, but like kind of further one of the points you made was like, don't eat too much, man. You don't want to go. Last thing you want to do is go into the gym, like weighed the fuck down,
Right.
Have some quick digesting stuff, sugar and carbs, stick with that before you train. Everything else is going to take way too long to digest. It's going to be tougher to digest. Just have the quick digesting stuff. All right, next question. This one comes from John R. John R. writes, is it important to have dedicated strength programming, or can you still make adequate gains through Metcons and traditional style workouts? Interesting. Okay. So I'm gonna cop out and say and give you the old "it depends on who you are" answer. And the reason I say that is, say you have two people, right? Say you have person A who's like never done anything before, and they're like they just signed up for CrossFit. I mean, they're just within the first few months of them training, they're just going to see nothing but gains, right? Versus the dude who has been he's been doing person B, he's been doing CrossFit for like 2 years now, and he's just been doing Metcons, and he's at a standstill. All right, well, if you're looking to get stronger, person B, probably going to have to add some dedicated strength programming, like you were saying. So I'm going to go with the it depends, but slash yes, John. It is important to have dedicated strength programming to make adequate gains through Metcons. If you're like an intermediate athlete. If you're a beginner, like we said many times before, doesn't matter what the fuck you do, you're just going to get stronger and you're going to make gains. After that, once you've left that beginner phase of being an athlete, then it's like, yeah, man, you're going to need to have the 5x5s in there, the squat sessions, the deadlift sessions, the fucking arm farm sessions, all that shit. So short answer, John R, is yes, it's important. Next question.
Alrighty. So this comes from Angela M. Is it better to work out in the morning when you wake up or in the evening before bed? Again, I'm going to go super general here, but depends. When the hell can you work out? Better to, if you don't hit your optimal, at 6 p.m. is when my testosterone is the highest, so I'm going to wait till then. But if you can't do it, you can't do it. Some people get it in the morning. It really doesn't matter. I've seen one study, and the one study said that if men were looking to raise their testosterone, like overall, working out at night or later in the day is better to raise overall testosterone. That's the only study I've ever seen that says anything. But other than that, like.
But so here's my question, not to you, to this study or whatever. Like, okay, so if that is quote unquote optimal or better, right? How much better is it making you? You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
I don't know the specifics, but like it's probably,
you know what I mean?
Honestly, it's probably not
so minimal.
Like for example, so at Equinox, like there's gym opens at 5 a.m. and there's a 5 a.m. crew because a lot of people in this area catch an early ass train in New York City. Guess what? They don't get home till 7 at night, so this is their only time to work out. And after they're done,
right, yeah.
And after they're done with their work day, you ask them, like, are they would they want to work out at 5 a.m.? No, but there's no other opportunity for them to work out. When they come home from work, they have families, they have a wife they'd like to see, they'd have, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it honestly, really doesn't matter. Whenever you do best, whatever time's easiest, but I've lifted it's at this point in my adult life, it's like whenever the hell you get the opportunity, you go lift. It's not like in college where you chill all day and you're like, all right, it's 8 p.m. I'm going to go to the gym now.
Here's the way I look at it. Because there is all this talk about studies and optimal time is at night with testosterone and da-da-da-da-da. Okay. So let's look at it this way. Studies aside, science aside, whatever the fuck. Take one person, right? Say he trains for a year in the morning and he's at, X one arm squat, X one arm deadlift, whatever his deadlift is, right? Say this guy, he trains in the morning every day and his squat max is 300, right? If you then take that guy and he starts training at night, in a year, what is his squat going to go up to 405 just because he started training at night? Like, no.
Right.
No, it's not gonna make that big of a difference, right? So to me, the best answer to that is just find the best time of the day where you're fucking on, when you're ready to go, when you feel good about lifting, or whenever the fuck you can and have to, right?
Right.
All right, next question. I like this one. This is a little different. This question comes to us from Liz. Liz writes, what are your top pieces of equipment to start a home gym with? Okay, I like this one. It's a little different.
I think about this on a daily basis, having a home gym.
Perfect.
So
let's do okay, so let's do this. Each of us, we got to choose, you only could choose 3. Let's do that. Okay? All right. I'm choosing a pull-up bar, squat rack,
yep,
and a barbell. If I had to choose 3, right? Like, don't light me on fire just yet, listeners. Like, yes, dumbbells, kettlebells, I would have all that shit. I'm saying if I had to choose 3, those would be like, if someone was like, hey, I can only have 3 things, I would choose those things.
Ooh, so for me, this is tough. So, but I know exactly what I would want. So let me see.
I know you want a belt squat, you motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely one. I will own a West Side belt squat one day in my house. So a belt squat absolutely is it. I was going to save that for last, but yes, belt squat without a doubt. A rack, but like kind of like a combo. The racks from Elite FTS, like the like bottom of the line ones where there's a pull-up bar in the rack, so it's like all in one. There's a rack. And then, unfortunately, I would choose... because obviously you want a barbell, but I would say honestly a sled to drag over the barbell.
Oh yeah, I like those.
Dude, literally I've been doing belt squats and sled drags at Hellbent for like the last week and a half. My back feels best it's felt in a long time. And
dude, if you for like a couple years belt squatted, pushed a sled and did pull-ups, dude, you'd be fucking rock solid.
Dude, my squat is the best it's felt. My back doesn't hurt as much anymore. Like, just from doing that, like my hamstrings and glutes I feel really good. I can actually get into my hips again. So for me, it'd be sled drag, belt squat, and obviously a rack. And I would love to, sneak a barbell in there, obviously, if I had to pick a fourth. But
right.
Those 3, like the belt squats and the sled drags have been game changers for me personally. So, yeah, and even like, that stuff keeps you in the game. Like, you don't always need to. Like, that's the other thing too is I have a tough time with is like I don't compete in shit. So like I don't need to really like. I will squat, but I don't have to do it every single week for the rest of my life. Like I have other options. But yeah, and even sleds. I think sleds keep you in the game. I literally just watched a video of Louis Simmons talking about how he didn't squat for like 8 weeks and only did sled drags, and he came in and hit like a PR or something like that.
That's insane. Yeah, that's crazy.
It keeps you going, and something you could do. There's not a lot of eccentric. You don't get hurt. Like it's not damaging. So yeah, those would be. God, I think about this a lot every single day. All I want a home gym.
All right, next question. Go ahead, Nick.
Alrighty. This is from Joe B. What? I kind of covered this before. When is the best time to eat when you're going to work out?
Oh yeah. Do you have another one? We pretty much just did that.
I know. That was the other one. It's better to wake up. Let me see. No, I don't have another one.
All right, I got one more then. We'll end up.
Okay.
This is a weird one.
Oh boy.
Okay. Lately, this is from Jack C. Lately,
Sounds
I've
like
been
a loser.
wearing 2 pair of compression shorts on leg day for extra groin support. Okay, I like your style, Jack. I feel like I don't get enough stretch. Should I stretch and then put the shorts on? Okay. So what I think he's talking about is he doesn't get enough stretch, like he doesn't get enough depth in his movements, or he doesn't get enough movement in his lower body movements. I think that's what I'm getting from the question.
Yeah.
Are you getting that as well?
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Okay. And so the question is, should I stretch then put the shorts on? All right. I think with something like compression shorts, I don't know if you should be like static stretching before you train. I'd never recommend that. I mean, I think you should be just getting yourself warm, move your joints around, prime your mobility. Charlie Weingroff says it best, right? You're not trying to get any more mobile before you train. You're trying to just prime the mobility you have. Okay? So get warm as fuck, prime the mobility you have. Other than that, though, I mean, I think the point of the compression is to keep you tight. You know what I'm saying? The point of the compression is to try to keep you tight. So if you're not getting a deep enough stretch with the compression shorts on, then the problem is elsewhere. Yeah, I don't know if I'm like answering this the right way, but yeah, that's pretty much my answer.
Yeah, I would agree. That's yeah, nothing really to say to that one.
I think you got to expect like, and this could be, again, this doesn't have to be if you're wearing compression shorts. This could be a suit, you could be wearing a squat suit,
Right.
Like your squat is not going to look the same in a squat suit as it is without a squat suit.
Right.
But you're definitely going to be able to lift more weight.
Yeah.
Like if you, without a squat suit, if you could like ass to grass, get in the hole and you throw a squat suit on, probably not going to be able to do that. Right?
No. Same
thing with compression shorts. I mean, it's like a micro version of that, but the more compression, the less, it was called stretch in the question, but the less depth or mobility or whatever you want to call it, you're going to get.
Right.
Is that fair?
That's fair.
All right, guys. That's it. That's all of our listener questions. Thank you so much for submitting. I like this. I actually really like this. I think we should do this more often. Maybe like, every couple months or so. Do like the user submitted questions. I like doing it off the top of the dome too.
Yeah. We don't plan shit. We just go for it.
Gator needs his gas. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this week. Make sure, again, you guys go to all of our social media. Follow that. Give us your comments. Go to our YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes, everything. Go ahead and leave a review. Give us a subscribe. Or don't. Or just say hi to us. You can call us. You can email us. You can come to our houses. I'm moving soon, so, it's all good.
Come see Steve before he leaves.
Yeah, come see me at my house. Party, August 18th. New Britain, Connecticut. All right, guys. We will see you next episode. Deuces.
Bye.